What has happened to my channel? That is a question that I've been asked a lot over the last couple of videos that I put out about Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet. So as you know, I am sort of I wouldn't say an influencer, but I do a lot of work with cosplay, reviews, costumes, a lot. That's one of my favorite videos to do, some of the most popular ones, but I also have been talking a lot about Superman 2025 and the news behind it. So most recently, I put up a video about how potentially Superman 2025 has lost money. Now, I said in that video that this was from a source, it was from Forbes, and I also mentioned that, I'm not sure how the numbers work or what it is, if it's accurate or not. I also said that basically what Superman made in the theaters is not what it's ultimately going to make because of things like merchandising, further marketing, video on demand, rentals, royalties, that sort of thing. But here's the thing. What I talked about was the fact that potentially, according to those numbers, maybe Superman 2025 lost as much as $40 million considering its budget and considering how much it made worldwide. A really interesting phenomenon, though. Essentially, when you start talking about these movies, it's like you become an authority. And if you put out an opinion or a piece of information that doesn't sort of gel with people, they all of a sudden accuse you of being, clickbaity, or what's happened to this channel, or what happened to you, man. Like, I got so many comments like, whatever, man, that's fake news, and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, look, I have never claimed that everything that I say is the truth. Like, we will never know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, no, is James Gunn going to come out and tell us that the movie lost money? No, of course he's not. Like, why would he? That's not going to be a good look for him. I'm going based on numbers that I saw on a few different websites. But the thing is, everybody's all, yeah, this is great, this is great, this is great. But as soon as you mention something negative about the thing that they love, it's like, nah, can't possibly be true. Or, nah, what's happened to you, man? It's like, I love Superman 2025. I think it's a fun movie. The more I watch it, the more cluttered it kind of gets, but it's still fun. Like, it's a Superman movie, right? Like, and I think I said this a couple months ago, much like the Star Wars prequels, like, are they good? No. Do they have good moments? Of course. But, like, overall, meh. But I love them because they're Star Wars movies. And I love this, Superman 2025, because it's a Superman movie. Like, I am not a Snyderverse cultist. I'm not a Snyderverse hater. I'm nothing like that. I just enjoy every version of Superman that comes out. Like, my Superman is probably always going to be Christopher Reeve, but I loved Henry Cavill. I loved David Corenswet. I think they do a great job. But the thing is, like, when you bring something objective and news-wise, like, whether it's right or wrong, like, of course, we're never going to know what the truth is, and we're only going by the sources that we have. It's not like that's me coming out and saying that I hate this movie or I'm trying to spread lies. I'm literally putting out information that I've read, that I've seen. That is an interesting topic of discussion. So, and that's the thing. Like, when it is a topic of discussion, great. But like, when people just come on and say bull crap or what's happened to you or that's stupid or this or that, it's like, what value are you actually bringing? Like, let's have a talk. Let's debate it. Like, some of the smartest comments I've seen are the ones that actually break it down a little bit and explain. Like, and this is something that I said in the video, is like, I don't actually understand some of the numbers, or if actually, the money that the movies make are split 50-50 with the theater companies. And that's fine. Like, I don't have to be like an expert on any of this stuff to actually come out and talk about it. I come out and talk about it because I love to see what your responses are and what you talk about and what it is that you see. But like, just because and this is the thing, and I've seen this a lot in talking about Superman 2025. Again, not saying I don't like this movie. I really like it. But if somebody says that the movie's not doing well, even if it's like there in black and white, and I'm not saying this particular instance, because maybe the monetary numbers that I'm giving, maybe they're not right. I'm just, again, going by the source. But even if somebody were to say this movie flopped, there are people out there that would literally just be like, nah, it didn't. That's fake. even if I had the numbers, like, because there are people who love these movies so much. Like, here we are almost 15 years later, 12 years later, really, talking about Man of Steel, whether or not it made money. And there's really no clear-cut answer. And yes, we can look at, yes, it did do well in the theaters, but then we compare that to the price of tickets and inflation, and it's like, I have half of you saying that Man of Steel was a box office success and a global success, and half of you saying it was a flop. And it's kind of like the same thing with this. It's like half of the people are saying it was a flop, half of the people are saying it's a success. So, like, what is the right answer? I don't know. Like, where do we find the actual information? The truth is, what information that we're fed online is the information that we're fed. And no matter what source I get it from, there's always going to be people that say it's not reliable. But the thing is, you go with the sources that keep the most consistency. So, like, if I look at Forbes, I'm like, Forbes feels reputable. Like, that's, I mean, at least it did 10 years ago. I don't know. Maybe it's changed. But it's just, it's really interesting to, like, and I remember talking about this in the beginning, like, about the production budget and everything. And I said that there was a reported is the keyword, budget of $350 million. Now, that is production and marketing. I feel like that's perfectly within the realm of possibility. Like, when you think of, in the production itself, like, I mean, somebody like David Corenswet, he's not pulling in like a Tom Cruise salary, right? He's probably making, I probably should have done the research, but I feel like he didn't quite hit the $1 million mark for this one. I feel like it was hundreds of thousands, or maybe that's somebody else. Well, let's look at Star Wars again. Rey, Daisy Ridley. I think she made like $300,000 for her first Star Wars movie. So, but that all adds up. Like, even if, like, the main cast were on between $500,000 and $1 million each, that's still, like, that's a few $1 million. Plus all the extras, which are probably just getting, like, hourly rates of $20 to $40 an hour. And there were a lot of extras. Plus any of the day players, plus any of the visual effects, plus the equipment, plus the editing, the post-production, all what you're paying your crew, your cast, everything can easily add up. Special effect, everything. And then when you think about the marketing budget, again, like, you're probably not looking at the cast in terms of their fees, because it depends. I mean, it depends. Like, I know as an actor myself on stage, like, when I do a professional show, my salary sometimes includes the marketing and the events and the appearances and the publicity, and that could be like going somewhere and signing or meeting people or going and doing some concerts of the stuff. But then there are some shows where that's all extra. Like, I get the salary for the show, and then I get paid extra if they want me to go on, like, a publicity thing. So I'm not sure how that worked with this one, but I don't feel like $350 million is out of the realm of possibility. And I think there were a lot of people, when I first put that number out, they were just like, no, that's crazy, man. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, well, add it up. And then when you look at the North American sales and the entirety of the global sales, and you get that $615 million number, it's like, all right. Okay, so if that number is accurate, again, if that number is accurate, then already $350 million of that is allocated. Like, that's gone. So that leaves what? $265 million that they have made now. Okay, so $265 million. All right. So that would be, I feel, if it was just $350 million that they are pumping out and they made $265 million, I feel like that's pretty good. I don't know. I don't pretend to know what's good margin in the terms of the A-list movie world. But then, yes, so we're looking at, all right, out of that $615 million, how much is going to the theaters? Obviously the theaters have their ticket sales, but I guess some of that cut has to go to the theater companies. So what really is that? I don't know. But, I mean, it's like, when you talk these figures, it's almost unimaginable to think that this movie has, pulled in terms of ticket sales and merchandising and this and that, like over $500 million. That's like a lot. It's a big big money market. But when you compare it to 10 years ago, with inflation, like, is it really? Is it a lot? Because of how much things have changed. So who knows? But I guess the point is, like, if things come out, and I'm not here to slap you on the wrist. Like, I love when people get involved in the community, but like, have something smarter to say than bullcrap or what's happened to this channel. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know what's happened in this channel. I got some new lights that happened like a year ago. But what are we talking about here? So I love all my community, but like, I need sort of more than that. And just keep in mind, I'm never here to like bash on anything. I'm just talking about the stuff that I've seen. Of course, when I did the review of the movie, I did 2 of them. Then yeah, I'm talking about my personal opinion. But this, I'm just going by what I see. I'm going by the news that I hear, and news sources change. It's kind of like, let's think about eggs. It's a weird comparison, but half scientists say that eating eggs every day is healthy for you. Half scientists say that eating every day eggs is bad for you. But what's the truth? Who knows? There's 3 sides to every story, right? There's their side, there's this side, and then there's the truth. And we'll never know what the truth is because we are fed a constant plethora of information. I don't know if that was the right word to use here, but a constant stream of information based on what people want us to hear. Is James Gunn going to come out and say, no, we didn't make money on this movie? No, of course not. Because he wants to continue making these movies. But I'm going to surmise that if these numbers are even close to true, I think that James Gunn probably doesn't have the blank check that he had a year ago. So time will tell. The future will tell. Who knows where we're going to get the real numbers, when we're going to get the real numbers. But I mean, I will say one thing is for sure. Superman 2025 started strong and it did sort of fizzle out. And that's not me saying I didn't like this movie, so don't get offended by me saying that. That is the truth. It fizzled out a little bit. Like, it didn't go as strong the entire way as it did in the beginning. And of course that's going to happen with every movie, but I think this one kind of took a turn a little bit quicker and harsher than people thought it was going to. And I think Superman 2025 became one of those movies where the more you saw it, the more you started to pick it apart. I'm not saying everybody did that, but I know that a lot of my friends did. And who are they, right? Like, obviously, that accounts for such a small ratio of people. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not sure. I don't not believe these numbers. I think, of course, there's some room for figuring out if they are actually true. But in terms of falling $42 million short, maybe. It's certainly possible. Like, especially with the trajectory of superhero movies. Like, the truth is, people lost faith in it a little bit. And I think that shows up. And if it's not perfect, it doesn't get the desired result. Man of Steel did great. I think Superman 2025 did great. But did it do great enough, if that makes sense? So that's what I wanted to come out. I'm really, really eager and interested in what your opinions are and what you think the real deal is. I'm really interested to hear you talk about it. But yeah, leave a comment down below. I look forward to it. If you like this video, or even if you didn't, like, comment, don't subscribe, it's fine. Glad to have you here for a little bit. But yeah, if you do like the video, there is the option to do the hype, which would be really cool just to get me out there. I do have some costumes coming up, so I'm going to do some more reviews. But other than that, I think that's it. Be sure to follow me at SuperFitCosplay on Instagram and TikTok. Do become a member if you're so inclined to get some extra added bonuses. And other than that, I will catch you next time.